Nextcloud Office is a collaborative online office suite based on Collabora Online. Fully interoperable with all sorts of document formats and presentation formats and accessible inside your browser, any modern browser. Nextcloud and Collabora have a model partnership built on a shared mission around open source. We've been working hand in hand now since 2016. Our developers, sales, pre-sales and teams just constantly interacting together, getting ideas and improving the product. And this has brought us together hundreds of joint customers, major public and private projects. And as always, I'm excited to be here to talk about the latest features in Nextcloud Hub Winter 26. We have a whole load of things to talk about. To me, it feels like so much has happened. I can only give you a small taste of just a few of the things around design and usability improvement. So let's get into that. So commenting. I do a whole load of commenting as I interact with documents with people every day. And we've just added these polished design elements there to make that just easier and quicker. Editing comments, reviewing them, resolving them. And yeah, you can definitely feel the difference from all of that. Other little things. I mean, just an example here, this editing and viewing mode, just making it clearer. Whether you're in a read-only document or not, and easy to switch and change that as you move along. Just these little details, but they're everywhere. What about file settings? So options. We've always had these options, but they've been less easy to find, so bring them closer. Configuring auto text view settings, interface properties, and just making them easy to find right there in the Nextcloud Office UI from the File tab. So, comparing documents. It's sometimes difficult to understand how that works. So we have very powerful change tracking, or redlining, as it's often called. And the users sometimes have problems with that. Some users say, well, how can I get rid of the red color and the strike through? You know, they don't understand how it's a change that's been deleted. So now we've added this new way whereby you can compare documents and you can see them side to side. So you just get this wonderful view of before and after, and it's just very intuitive, very easy to use. With all of those things highlighted so you don't miss a symbol. I mean, I know change tracking well, but even so getting the order right, you know, which one is compared, which is the old and new. All of that stuff is being cleaned up and made beautifully easy to use. And of course, you can then do that from the UI. Of course, change tracking is still there in its existing form as a very powerful feature. You can now compare documents. So you can pick a document in Nextcloud you want to compare with, and you can do that comparison, and then you can see, you know, a view of those changes. You can even filter those by date and time and person, all sorts of powerful functionality there. We haven't taken anything away. We're just adding more usability. We've also greatly improved accessibility on mobile devices in a couple of ways, and let me just look at those. So if you have a limited screen height, it's really, really helpful now to collapse some of those toolbars and get things out of the way so that then you can see more as you're editing. We've also done a whole load of work on mobile editing and reading experience for screen readers. So now when accessibility is enabled in the Nextcloud Office admin settings, the iOS voiceover can now read the file content out as well, so you can actually have your document read to you. So that's really helpful, in addition to navigating through that, titles and controls and content there.
Your company name or logo. Bullet. Your Payne Bullet Street name 120. Company letter template docs.
Now let's talk about updates in spreadsheets. So by popular request from actually several of our joint customers, we introduced support for sheet views. Now sheet views let multiple people see the same data set filtered in different ways. So you can just click this and create your own view and your own filtering and sorting and subset of that data. So for example, if you have a big list of customer accounts assigned to different people, each one can have their own view to work on. So your sales team can work productively on those pieces and edit and update things separately. So at the moment, you can apply that sheet view, get the filters and so on. In the future, we'll be loading and saving that and interoperating with that, but the core feature is there in this version of Nextcloud Hub. Of course, we keep working on interoperability. Here, we've got this new table design feature and a tab that allows you to adjust the style of your slides and how it looks using all those familiar table design features and interoperate with XLSX files there. And lots of nice style presets you can use quickly. We've also invested there's so much on interoperability, it's hard to just go into detail on it. But here's one metric we're using. It's a kind of a burn down, a graph that goes down to the right, and just fixing a whole load of our worst bug documents so that they don't cause any issue when we import them into Microsoft Office. Fantastic work from the team there. Once that's at zero, it stays at zero. We have great automated testing to keep it there. Big improvements in interoperability. The presentation editor now lets you run slideshows even without a big screen or projector between your friends. So you can get everybody into the document and then you can lead a slideshow or a presentation with this present to all feature. And so you can start it for everyone else, and you can let them then follow you through the slides, seeing what's coming up. But you can also go backwards, and you can then, perhaps if you've taken a while, you wanted to see that slide, or you hadn't quite finished reading it, some people talk too fast and move too fast, then you can actually catch up on that. And even better than that, for those who are impaired, there's accessibility support there. So if you find it particularly challenging to read a slide or catch up perhaps on a screen reader, then you have the time to do that. You don't need to be hurried ahead. So a major new feature there. There's so much more in the release that I'd love to share with you, but try it out for yourself.